Good morning. This is your daily operations weather briefing. Seeing partly cloudy conditions this morning. Expecting another nice and seasonable day as we go through our Wednesday with light winds and dry conditions. We will have some disturbed weather moving into the area as we get late into the day on Friday, through the overnight hours and into Saturday, bringing some heavy rain chances as well as some windy conditions for the weekend. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have an area of high pressure still in control over the region, keeping things quiet for the area, and still have that surface boundary over the Florida area. That's where we'll see that area of low pressure develop along that boundary and lift north, and that will be bringing us that disturbed weather for the weekend. If we look at the current conditions as of 8 a.m. this morning, we have some scattered clouds around 7,000 feet. Winds are light and variable to calm at times. Right now, the latest OB has them at calm. Seeing that temperature around 65 degrees and the relative humidity is at 75%. If we take a look at the current visible satellite, we can see that kind of unexpected cloud layer that developed this morning, slowly starting to dissipate and move out of the area. We'll see some clear skies after that before we start to see some cumulus develop late this morning and into the afternoon hours. But overall, nice conditions across the region. If we look at short-term high-resolution models, again, as we go through the day today, expecting dry conditions, light winds, and seasonable temperatures. Going through the overnight hours, some models indicating a low chance of maybe a few light sprinkles or showers developing, but not looking very likely. Kind of an outlier solution here, but we'll possibly see some clouds sticking around through the morning hours before we'll start to see some high clouds building in as we go into the day on Thursday. Thursday we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions at time with plenty of high clouds likely in the area. We do have a very low end chance of an isolated shower for the afternoon. Again, that's looking fairly unlikely, but some indications of that, so can't rule that out. Will be brief and light if that does occur. Otherwise, as we go into the evening hours, we'll continue to see an increase in cloud cover as that area of low pressure starts to come together and start to lift north. And we'll start to see, breezy conditions move into the area as we get towards sunrise on Friday, where we'll start to see slightly breezy conditions. And as we go through the day on Friday, we'll continue to see that breeze increase. Becoming fairly breezy for the day on Friday, we'll likely see a wind advisory as those wind gusts start to get up to and above 25 knots during the afternoon and continuing to increase as we go into the evening. As you can see here, we'll have a few chances of isolated showers swinging through the area out ahead of the precip, the bulk of the precip that will start to move in as we get later into the evening and overnight hours. So 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have green conditions across the board. For the next 24 hours, expected temperatures to climb up to around 79 degrees. Those winds will stay fairly light out of the south-southwest to south, peaking around 4 to 9 knots today. We'll see mainly partly cloudy skies with cumulus developing around 5,000 feet. We'll see a few to scattered layer. We do have a chance of seeing some brief periods of a ceiling developing at 5,000 feet, so a broken deck around 5,000 feet as we go through the afternoon hours. But as we go into the evening hours, should drop down to a scattered layer with still a lingering chance of seeing some broken clouds around 6,000 feet. As we go through the overnight, we'll see temperatures able to drop to around 63 degrees, but with some clouds in the area, we could see that a little slower to drop. But nonetheless, we'll keep those clouds around at 6,000 feet. And again, as indicated on some of the models, we could see some continued broken conditions at 5,000 feet and a very slight chance of seeing maybe a light sprinkle at most in the area. But as we get into the morning hours before sunrise, we'll see some patchy mist around as well as those winds become light and variable once again. But then starting the day on Thursday, we'll start to see more of an onshore component developing in the wind out of the north-northeast at around 3 to 8 knots. Tides are running normal at the moment. And for the next couple of days, Thursday looks to be overall another nice and seasonable day. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions at times, we'll see seasonable temperatures, and we had that very slight chance of an isolated pop-up shower in the area, but again, that's not overly likely to happen. I'll see that high around 78 degrees. Overall, green conditions for our weather risk. As we go into the evening hours, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions as those clouds continue to increase ahead of that system moving into the area. We'll see that breeze start to pick up, becoming slightly breezy by sunrise. At this time, not expecting a wind advisory through the overnight hours, so staying with green conditions, and we'll see that low around 64 degrees. As we go into the day, on Friday, that's when we'll start to see those winds ramping up, becoming breezy by the morning hours, and cranking up, becoming windy likely by the late afternoon and into the evening hours. So we do have that red risk of winds at or above 25 knots. We do expect to see some wind gusts above 25 knots during the day and into the evening hours especially. Otherwise, we'll have that slight chance of an isolated shower moving through the area throughout the day. And then as we get into the late afternoon and particularly into the evening and overnight hours, we'll start to pick up a good chance of seeing those rain showers moving in. So we do have an orange risk for precip at this time. And with that precip, we could see some reduced ceilings of visibility. So we have that yellow risk of that as well. So things start to deteriorate as we go later in the day Friday and into the overnight hours, setting up for an unsettled weekend. But that high Friday, cooler as well with those onshore breeze around 74 degrees. That will wrap up the daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.